Good morning, everyone. It's Conrad from ConradRocks.net. This is going to be a little bit different of it's not going to be a coffee with Conrad regular. You can probably tell my voice is blah. So I'm laying here with a cold this weekend, and this morning early I had a dream, and it was a very unusual dream. I was praying about whether it was prophetic or not, and then as the hours marched on in the morning, and it kept coming back in my spirit. So I'm going to share it with you. And I also posted this in the prophetic community on Google+. The link to the post will be included in this blog post and wherever you hear this podcast. So I had a dream early this morning, and I was a silent observer. If you look at the book of Ezekiel, you notice how God took Ezekiel to a place and he showed them what was going on behind the scenes. It felt something like that. Now, I only remember one portion of the conversation. I'll share that with you. But these two people were talking. I saw what looked like a Jewish high priest, like you would see in the movie The Passion of the Christ. He was dressed like that, just dressed to the nines of his office. I mean, you could tell that's what he was. And he comes into this room, and this room had what I perceived to be a political governor, someone in authority in the political governmental system. And what's interesting is this: the priest was walking straight down the aisle in the middle of the room towards this governor, and this governor happened to be in a box, like a witness stand type box, or it seemed like a throne type of a box. I couldn't tell the difference between the two, but I could tell that he was in a position of authority. And as the priest was walking up towards this political governor, or whoever this was, they seemed to be on the same eye-to-eye level. So I couldn't really tell who was higher in authority in that room. They were having a conversation, and the conversation seemed to be a conversation of wits and of cunning. I need to point out that this conversation was definitely in secret. It was not a public conversation. And the only part of the conversation that I remember is the governor saying to this person that I perceived to be the high priest in an Old Testament type setting, he said this: "I believe in your God as about as much as a roll of the dice." Now, I'm not really sure if this was taking place in an Old Testament time, or it was to show the fact that Jesus wasn't in this. They didn't revere Jesus. And I got this incredible sense that the God of the Bible was lightly esteemed. So there you go. That's the vision, pretty much as best as I can explain it. You can comment on the blog at ConradRocks.net. Or you can comment in the prophetic community there at Google+. The link for the prophetic post will be wherever you hear this podcast. Now tonight, this will be Monday night. I had this dream Sunday morning, and but tonight, Monday night, when this airs, we're going to be having a Bible study on Romans chapter 6. You are invited. The link will be in wherever you hear this podcast. And if you are not a member of Google+, you can watch it on the live page at ConradRocks.net. If you are a member of Google+, the questions and answers will be available. You can ask questions live, and we will answer them, hopefully. Anyway, thank you very much. Sorry about the show being short today. Fighting a little bit of a cold. And, speaking of that, I'm reading The Healing Companion at the time I have this cold. It's an amazing book by Glenda Linkus. And I have an interview coming out with her Friday. She has been, she wrote The Wilderness Companion. She went through the wilderness and got to the other side, and she wrote about it. And now she went through the valley of the shadow of death on healing, and she got through that, and she wrote about it. So we're going to be talking about her miraculous life and her relationship with Jesus this Friday. And be sure and tune in on that. It'll be Friday, Glenda Linkus, on ConradRocks.net. Thank you for being a part of Conrad Rocks. Till we meet again, dig deeper, go higher.